Hi, welcome to another Entertaining Geek video. This is Dave out on the dog walk. Here we are, bales in the fields. That was it, get the angle right. Continuing technical tests on the Aftershokz Openmoves for 70 something quid. They're absolutely brilliant. Really rate them. There's the dog, there's Yogi. So yeah, really rate them. Podcast particularly, I'm just listening to the cycling podcast so you can walk along hearing, as we said before, the sounds of nature, but also they're crystal clear, really good. I've used them on runs, I've used them on a bike. Brilliant on Zwift and RGT, and listening to music, and also great on Discord. So what more could you want for 80 quid? I've got AirPods, I've got AirPod Pros, I've got Boses or whatever, but honestly, these are my go-to headphones at the moment. Really like them. I'll just do some shots in a second of something else that I've got on my wrist, which I'll hold it up to the camera. Is not looking at the right place on this either. So this is the Suunto 9. It's the one with the barometer, multi-sport battery that lasts for yonks. Recharges pretty quick as well off the computer, and it's a really cracking piece of kit for people who do multi-sports or just want one integrated system. Something else that's on the other wrist, he said swapping hands, is this, which is my old Series 2 Apple Watch, which is currently recording my activity on my dog walk. So I like to do that to show Apple Health that I'm doing good stuff, as in moving about. But anyway, the stuff that I find quite interesting about all this activity tracking is just, it's similar to phones and just about everything else. If you've got a totally integrated system like the Suunto, where you have to do everything on it, and it's all Suunto stuff, you know, it's not an Apple product. Sorry, car going by then, sorry. It's not an Apple product. It's really difficult to learn in comparison to, say, Apple. And that's probably because I'm used to using Apple. I like Apple. They're very good products, in my opinion. I know other products are available, and people like Samsung and stuff like that. And if you like those and get on with them really well, that's great. Nowadays, I'm not doing ridiculous running mileage. And if I go out on the bike for ridiculous mileage, I'll put my go-to old-fashioned Garmin 520 on, and I've still got that Stages meter sort of thing on, which it's not as good as the Garmin, to be honest. It's got nice pretty graphics on it, but you know, the brackets are pain and all that sort of stuff. So what I would say is, activity trackers, getting back on track, the Suunto is really good if you learn it. You've got to really learn it. It tracks just about any activity going. Battery lasts for absolutely ages, so we'll do far more on it than this, just initial thoughts. But it's great. It's, once again, size of a bin lid, but it needs to be for the LiPo battery in it and all the gubbins and, you know, say, barometer. So even when they told us Storm Alex was coming the other day, I was looking at my wrist, unbelievably, going, well, the barometric pressure isn't that bad. We just had a little bit of rain and that was it. So well done, Suunto, and not very good for ITV and BBC weather. But anyway, Apple iPhone for just general activity, going for a run, even recording your workout when you're on your turbo trainer, all that sort of stuff. It's dead easy to use. There's an app for everything. So you listen to music, you can record your activity, you can integrate it with Strava and all that sort of stuff. And once upon a time, before I went for a run, I stood on my drive for ages waiting for my Garmin to connect. And those heady early days of activity trackers, and then, you know, you get all stressed out. If you didn't record it, it didn't happen. If it wasn't on Strava, it didn't happen. For God's sake, in 50 years' time, nobody will care anyway. So, but for now, for recording stuff and general health activity tracking and everything, it's hard not to love the Apple, even a Series 2. I'd very much like to get the latest Series 6 and try that and get it in comparison. So I might have to pop along to the Apple shop online and grab one. I'll let you know what you think about that. But it's a bit of a rant this week, and it's a rant about Zwift. Eric, if you're listening, you probably aren't. Eric Min, we love you to bits, and congratulations on your extra almost $500 million to develop Zwift. And it's great to see that at this moment in time in the UK, at 8 o'clock-ish in the morning, there are 8,000 people on Zwift. But, you know, 13,000 at peak UK time yesterday. The scale has got to get there, and this isn't riding outdoors weather. Well, it is for the really committed people, but you know, You keep doing great stuff and then you take it away from us. And I know Future Works seems to be a really flashy name for beta. In other words, it's a testing environment and it helps everybody, the community, to give you feedback and all that sort of stuff. But we love the Pace Partners. You put it on Twitter, you put it on your Facebook, you said how great they were. We all agree they're fantastic. I personally think Pace Partners are better than group rides. There's none of the faff, there's none of turning up on time, there's none of that sort of stuff. But, oh, God, we love them. They appear, they glitch out for the day. Well, one of them did. Coco went a bit rogue on the wrong course at the wrong watts per kilogram. And then what happens? You take them away and we get the Academy. And the Academy is marvellous for those aspiring people who want to be spotted and become professional cyclists, or for some people who want to feel part of something. They're on a journey. A lot of people are going to be aspiring cyclists and all that sort of stuff. That's great. I'm beyond that. I take it a lot of Zwift users are as well. We've got our own programs, we've got our own things we like doing, and Pace Partners were bloody marvellous, and you take them away. So what was the point in that? Now they're supposed to be coming back. They promise they're coming back, and the problem is when Zwift nowadays promises that things are coming back, we start doubting it. Check out Facebook Zwift vented area, and I suppose this is a bit of like a bit of a vent, but just don't take them away like that. Tell us in advance and say things like, we are taking away the Pace Partners, let's warn you, and this is the reason why. We know it's in development at the moment, but they will be back at this time. We just got the feeling it's got a bit glitchy, so take them off. We go a new drop of software, an update, and then what happens is they've gone. Loads of people have a rant on the Zwift forums, just about everywhere else. People pop up and say, don't worry, they'll be back soon. And we think, now RGT, you can have Pace Partners whenever you want to, because you can create up to 99 bots and create a ride and all that sort of stuff. Yes, RGT, you can, but RGT, you can't read your flipping app without really thick glasses on. Now, my prescription is about 2 for reading glasses, 2.0, but really, you know, I'd like to be able to read your app, particularly in a semi-dark garage. I'm sitting on Zwift with my big screen on and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sitting on Zwift, I'm sitting on my turbo trainer. Sorry, I confused that with RGT. But there we are, on RGT, sitting there, trying to organise something, set up a ride, and I set up the ride, and apparently there's all sorts of rules and everything. So, what would be lovely is an RGT manual. But then again, with software nowadays, good software doesn't need a manual. Love RGT to bits. I'd love RGT to get far more traction it's got. But you need 99 bots so you don't feel flipping lonely, because you went on with a Pace Partner and there's a group of people riding around with you, and you can have a bit of a chat with them and you can give them a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. And as we know, the gamification of Zwift is incredible. Makes you want to keep going back. That's how it's designed. Great bit of game theory there in the background, Zwift. Well done. RGT, no game theory. And I know they're playing this on the ethics. You shouldn't feel gamed. That's ethics and not Essex. You shouldn't feel gamed. You know, I'm not compelled to go back. I'd like to feel compelled to go back. But I go on there, I do a ride, there's hardly anybody on there. There's no good banter. It's not like riding around with your mates. You can promote a ride, but your ride only becomes visible if 20 other people sign up. And try and get 20 other people to sign up when you send all your mates a link to the ride, and they send you a screenshot showing the link doesn't work. So you feel like you're stuck in some sort of strange hamster wheel loop. So yes, RGT, you do have bots. You just don't have several of them. You can have up to 99. It's all flipping great, but come on, if you want to take on Zwift, let's really take them on seriously and gamify. I know you don't like it, but you've got to gamify. It really, you know, I can be sitting there watching the TV and I get a little blip on my Apple Watch and I look down and it tells me somebody's giving me a thumbs up for a Zwift ride. Now, does that do my head in sometimes? Yes, it does. But also, it's nice to know other people are there and they can take notice. So I'm not living in a complete vacuum. Went for a ride with my mates to the CAF. Mates from the CAF probably give me a thumbs up on Strava afterwards. Ride with mates on Zwift and then give me a thumbs up on Zwift. Might do it on Strava as well. If you can hear strange noise in the background, I do apologise. The dog's eating too much grass. Anyway, so that's my rant. Pace Partners, bring them flipping back, bring them back quick. I know people have said they'll be back next week, but we don't believe you. Let's see, you know, seeing is believing. Keep them there. Don't just call them Future Works, call them Now Works. And don't get me on steering, that's another subject. Ride on, ride free.